This week, Memphis lost a staple of both our music and culinary scenes. Ralph Johnson, better known as RJ Groove, made a name for himself both as a radio host and as the chef and owner behind Plant-Based Heat. As we reflect on this impact, we're joined now by two men who knew him best, fellow radio host Stan Bell and Memphis Rainbow Push Coalition President Dr. Joseph Kiles. Gentlemen, thank you for being here today.
Thank you,
we do
Alex.
appreciate it. Good to see you both. We wish it was under different circumstances, but Stan, let's begin with you. A lot of us knew RJ Groove. We knew the voice, we knew the energy, we knew the personality, but who was the man behind the mic?
A young man who came to the radio station with energy, enthusiasm. He wanted an opportunity, not only because he had been in the streets doing the night scene, Alex, but he wanted a shot at being on the airwaves. And when I saw RJ, I said, you know what? He kind of reminds me of me with that energy and that enthusiasm, and he wanted to get in there and make a difference. So he tackled radio. We trained him. I would say 89, maybe 90, I guess, at K97 back then. The big station.
Remember it well.
The big station. And he came in there, man. He never looked back, man. He hit the airways doing his thing, had intros, and he would mix in the evening time when he got off the air. He would mix, man. He's just an incredible talent.
He took it to another level. Joseph, what made him that trusted voice?
I think his drive. I met him when we were 13 years old at Whitehaven High School, student athletes playing under the guidance of Stan Collins, the legendary coach. He was a compassionate person, but he loved sports. He loved to compete. And I think about his ability to be a brand. RJ created a brand before there was branding agents out there. Stan Bell was all over the 90-something counties of Tennessee when he came out of UT Martin.
Right.
And RJ took those things from different mentors. He took certain things from individuals that he learned, and he enhanced on it. And he worked very hard. I was talking with Ralph III and his mother, Shauna Ray, and she said, you know, I used to watch him, his preparation. He would stay on those wheels of steel that we talk about and practice and practice and practice until he got it just right.
And he did it.
Yes,
and
he
got
did.
it just right. Stan, but he was also an entrepreneur. A lot of folks were kind of surprised, at least I know I was, when I heard about the business drive that he had. Where did that come from?
RJ was bigger than life. You know, radio, if you could say it this way, couldn't hold him. You know, he's like, I got to get out here and do something. So I remember when he said he was going to do his own thing, and that own thing meant opening up a wing spot. That's right. You know, his own wing spot. I said, man, you stepping out there, man. You got that kind of capital? He said, I'll make it work. Because number one, he was a good cook.
That's right.
And see, RJ brought the streets, if you will, to the airwaves. In other words, meaning that he made radio authentic. We could see him on the streets. We could see, we could touch him. You know, and he was that kind of guy. So when he opened up his establishment, the Wings restaurant, people just flocked to him. And then yet he was still on the air part-time. But I will say this. RJ Groove had more popularity than some of the full-time jocks.
Are you serious?
And he only did weekends.
People knew the name. People knew the name. They knew the voice, for sure. They knew the brand.
Yes.
Joseph, what about the responsibility of uplifting the next generation? Was that a big part of who RJ
Well, that was his life, and he was so proud of his son, Ralph Johnson III, and he was training him all the time. Ralph was an excellent student, went to school, played football, college football, graduated, and his father was always teaching him about the business of entertainment. But Ralph did some interesting things in terms of whether it was hip hop, R&B, and then he made a transition. He went into gospel music and inspirational music, and he took that same crowd with him. He was ministering to his congregation. And I think about two things. One, the fact that he was such an extrovert, but when he was by himself, he was a quiet, and he was thinking all the time. And one time we had an event, he would call and say, Joseph, I got an opportunity. And I said, what is it? I'm with you, let's go. He started reggae nights at 616, and we did that for about 6 months. We had a little conflict with the owners. They wanted to change the nature of the deal, and we left that night. And in 2 months, he had a lease for a new building, and he called it the Groove Train. And so sometimes God will take you through some difficult points in order to elevate you, and he understood that.
Stan, remembering the man behind the name, how do you see that?
You know, RJ was the kind of guy, he knew what he wanted. And I looked at myself when I would see him, younger than me, obviously, class of '86, Whitehaven.
Okay.
And when I saw him, you know, I felt like I was a motivator because I don't think he ever dreamed that he would be on the radio. So he came up with the name RJ Groove.
Yeah.
They had opened up a club, Groove Train.
Yes.
Had, as Bernard Williams said, it had hard groove production.
That's right. That's
so
right.
I think about a young man who had dreams,
Right.
and he made them come true. You know, Alex, I often say, a motivation is when your dreams put on work clothes.
Talk, Stan.
RJ.
Talk, Stan.
Yeah. RJ worked, man. He had a dream. He wanted to be on the radio. He wanted to do his own thing, open up his own, you know, establishment, lounge, nightclub, whatever. But then he got on the air, and he got his brand together, man.
So, Joseph, are we talking about a legacy greater than radio?
You took the words right out of my mouth. He has created a legacy. Reverend Kyles used to preach a sermon, What's in a Name? RJ, Ralph Johnson II, has created a legacy for his son, his family, and we're going to do everything we can, the friends, to support Ralph Johnson III as they continue on with plant-based heat and carry on in that mission.
Stan Bell, that final tribute, what would it be?
Knowing RJ and all the things that he's done, radio, as Joseph mentioned, he worked at Hallelujah FM 95.7, 101.1. I think he may have done something, a stint at Hot 107 maybe, and even, of course, at K97. RJ, what he means to me, and in his name, like Joseph said, once a name, always a threat. We will forever remember RJ Groove. So if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time.
Talk, Stan.
That's it.
If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. RJ knew that. Bullseye.
Stan Bell.
Right. Mr. Coleman.
Dr.
Thank you, Mr.
Joseph
Coleman.
Kyles.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you both.
Just a roll call.
Take us a break.
What camera on? Just a roll call. Just a roll call. What's up, y'all? What you got to say? Who's on the micro raft today? RJ's in the house. Now he's in the house of the Lord.
Wow, look at that.
Rest peacefully.
Back in a moment.
43 years.